Howdy, folks, and welcome back to the Practical Microservices stream. Let's see. I just want to jump into it today. So our goal for today is... I wrote the book a long time ago. It was 3 years ago, roughly, that it came out. I think it was either March or February. I don't quite remember. But some folks are having problems running it, running the code that's in there. So if we go to prog.com... there is an errata site. I think, does that go to DevTalk? It does, yeah. So if you come here, let's just click on this one. This isn't quite the one I'm looking at, but I will address this in just a second. See if we click that one. Really, where did it go? A year ago. No, there, oh, come on. There was one that just happened. Most active this week. Here we go. This is the one. There is a problem that you get when you go to try to run it. If you take the code... Oh, neat. Thanks, SB Ditto. I appreciate it. Installed Newsco. We don't go onto other people's channels to spam offers. So I need to refigure out how does... the controls work here. How do they? Neat. Oh, I see. It would help if I logged in. They don't just let random people moderate channels. That's strange. You have to be authenticated. Okay, reloading the page. Where did the chat go? Really? Did it go like that? There we are. Here we go. And we're just gonna go ahead and ban that user. All right, cool. Yeah, so let's see. One of the big problems that you'll face is that, or at least the book, I think node 16 or 12 or 14, what's instead of speculating, why don't we just go look at it? So first step, let's go back to the book page and get the code. So you download the code as this zip file here. There it is. So what I will do is unzip downloads EG microcode. That should drop it. Wait a second. Hang on. I want to start from a fresh download here. So there we go. Now the code is there. And I didn't change the directory into the code. So cd code. And let's go to the first pass one, for example. This would be the code that you first encounter in the book. And if we open the package JSON there, what do we get? Node 12. Yeah. Okay. So this was done with Node 12. Hello, other Ethan. Good to see you. How are you doing? We're just doing all right. Some folks have had trouble with the book code in that it doesn't run so well anymore. Yes, when I wrote it, Node version 12 was the big one. And so you might see that and be like, okay, I'll run it with Node 12. If you do that, it works fine. But a lot of people, very sensibly, don't want to do that. So let's see what versions of Node I have installed here. Ooh, neat. I opened a couple more panes there. Run it. Yeah, exactly. I think 18 is the current LTS. So 6 major versions. Yeah, I've got 18 on here. So let's just switch over to using that. And if you do this, you'll install it. I think this part will work fine. Get a whole lot of messages though, things being deprecated. 33 vulnerabilities, 16 high, 4 critical. All right, that sounds kind of serious, right? But then if you let's see, the Docker Compose matters here too. It's on Postgres 10. So if we run Docker Compose and Docker Compose up, just in case I had one of these running before, could you release? You know, I've got that question a few times. Doing a second edition, there's like a couple of different ways to approach that. And one is to do a continuation. So let me just zip on back behind me real quick. Yes, I have copies of my own book sitting behind me. That's fine. In the last chapter, the continuing the journey one, there were a bunch of topics that we only like barely talked about. Concurrency was one of them. How to change the message contract, snapshotting. We didn't even implement that in the book. And so a continuation would be like, okay, well, take those topics and others and go into them in more detail and make a continuation. The other is to update the book. And so like where I'm at with that is I think that would be interesting stuff, but like what really gets me up in the morning and going is not so much the technical details, but the more organizational aspects of how to make workflow. So that is like, I could do a continuation, but it isn't, I don't know. It's something I could be convinced of, but I don't know how many people would want that or not. So if there were indication of that, that could push me along. But then as far as doing a second edition of the same thing, I've got mixed feelings about the JavaScript code that I wrote for it. Like, I think it was useful and illustrative for how to do, like, what the pieces are and how they fit together and stuff. But I worked at least one place where we took that code and put it in production and it works. Like, we solved useful business problems with it. But I'm a much bigger fan these days of the Eventide framework or the Eventide project, which is why I'm porting the book's code to it. And so I'd have to do a decision. Do we keep it as JavaScript or do we do like the alternate reality version where we use Eventide instead? I'm not sure. Or that could be done with a continuation as well. So I don't know. That's just my thinking on that. If you have any thoughts, please do share them because the question comes up from time to time. I wouldn't say it comes up a lot, but it does come up from time to time. All right. So if I run this Docker image, port is already allocated. That means I have something else running on that port and I know what it is. I'm going to switch back to just the camera real quick and go deal with that. I think it would be this one. Let's close that and then come back to this one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, so now we should be able to run that. Okay, database is running. That's great. But this is also a fairly old version of Postgres. And so someone who wants to stay up to date, well, we are already on, I think we're already on node 18 here, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I installed all the things. Database is running. Now I'm going to start the server. No, I'm not. Oh, this first pass one is done a little bit differently than the other directories were. And this is something that someone else pointed out was that in the first chapter, okay, sorry, let me go back one more time to the introduction where I said the following, which I still think is a good idea, but what did I say? As you're reading through the code, I can't stress highly enough the value of creating your own project folder, creating each file, and typing its contents yourself. Is that tedious? Possibly. But it's tedium with a purpose. Reading code is nice, but I want to get the concepts in this book into your brain, and typing code will do so much more of that transfer than merely reading. In addition, you should also be sure to complete the exercises in the chapters. And so if you follow along in the first chapter, where the point of the first chapter was to show like, hey, if we take the traditional approach to designing a web application, we are going to run into a brick wall pretty fast. And so my intent wasn't so much that people follow that advice in the intro for the first chapter, but one reader did, and I didn't mention the env file at all, and so that threw him for a loop. And so I wish I had called out either the presence of the env file or don't worry about it for chapter 1. Anyway, so in addition to chapter 1, the way to start the project is different. So this has nodemon and automatically detects changes in the code and restarts the server. Whereas in the later chapters, we just accept that we're going to stop the server every time we make a change. But that's fine because it's mostly a test-driven flow anyway, even though that's not called out specifically in the book. But anyway, okay, so we run the server. Everything's looking good so far. But if we try to hit it, we are treated to totally the wrong thing because I have something else running that I need to turn off as well. Oops. Let's see here. Where did you go? Thing that is running. Is it here? Close you, close you. And then close you. There, I think that should take care of it. If I could find the right pane to go back to here. All right, let's try this again. Rewind. I'll fix this in post-prod because I'm actually going to take today's stream and slice it up into a video that other people will be able to see to solve the same problem. So we run the dev server here. Everything looks good. And then we try again. And it hangs. So it's kind of small up there, but you can see the little spinning wheel there. I'm not sure how long it takes before the error occurs, but there's going to be a timeout with the database. And this is what everyone will see. So if you ran this with Node version 12, this would not happen. There it is. Connects timeout, acquiring a connection. The pool is probably full. Are you missing a transacting TRX call? No, we're not. Something changed with Node after version 12 that no longer plays nicely with the PG library in the 7 series, I believe it is. So that's what we would need to do first is, don't know the right way to update something. Even when I was using Node every day, I never figured it out. So I'm just going to delete that from package JSON. I'm going to remove the package lock, and then we can run npm install. What just happened? Oh gosh, yeah, here's another problem. So all the ESLint config is out of date as well. That's probably because I deleted the package lock. So let us put that back and just deal with PG. In fact, I would probably just remove all of this right now. Let's just do that. We'll remove that. Let's try installing again, see what happens. Honestly, I don't know why it needs to check the dependency of everything to install just one package, but whatever. There's probably a good reason for it. Just because I don't know something doesn't mean it's wrong. Okay, so now we've got, let's see. Doesn't say the version it installed it at, but if we reload here, we can see PG is at version 8.10. Great. Let's install the rest of them. Hopefully this will work. Looks like it did. Great. Now this may get us our first other problem in that recently the colors library changed, although we had it at 1.3, so maybe it's not a big deal. What happened? Right, I keep trying to run the wrong script. Okay, not a problem with colors yet. We'll see that in just a minute. So having updated the PG version, now the page loads. So that would be the first thing that you need to do is to update the PG library to, I think, major version 8 is all that's required. Might as well grab the latest one. All right, step 1, fantastic. Let's close all this. So that would get the first chapter running, and yes, there is this env file that I didn't specifically call out in the text. Apologies for that. Yeah, that needs to be there. It is there in the downloaded code. We just don't go through it in the book. All right, so then with that, let us go back to this is sort of the main code structure. If we, let's see, go back up one. So when you unzip all the code, you get all of these directories, and we spend most of the book in the video tutorials folder. The distributed video tutorials, that one is where we end up breaking it into 2 projects, and they were deployed to Heroku at one point, but then Heroku ended the free tier, which was a shame. I think that happened like 6 months after the book came out. So I don't have another free place to do that right now. Debugging components. What did it do differently? And why is it in a separate? I don't remember. Sorry, this was a long time ago. Background draws, interfaces, deploying. 13 is debugging. 2 weeks. Oh, priming your database with some good test data. Okay, so that's what it was. It's run a little bit differently so that we can get some test data in there. And then, so data gen is the thing that generates that test data for debugging components. Okay, yeah, so that if you get it working in the video tutorials folder, I think it's straightforward how to get it working in the others. So let's go into the video tutorials folder. I think we're still on version, no, we're on 16 now. So let's, all right, because that was down in the lower left. So let's see, I'll just move this up to 18. And let's see, change you to video tutorials, node version. We are 18 there as well. And this should also be the video tutorials folder. Now, basically, we would want this to be running on all the latest things so that we can get rid of all of those warning messages. And continuous integration is so much more than just having tests run on a server. It means anything that you integrate with, you continuously do so. So that would be versions of Node, versions of your packages. Luckily, this project is kind of small and we actually could update all of these to their latest versions. Or, whoops, just get rid of them is another strategy if you don't want to use them anymore. And I don't, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Prettier handles all the cosmetic things, and the rest I think is better handled by team practices rather than pushing that off to something people don't think about. That could be a spicy take, but hey, that's what I think. My stream, so that's what we're going to go with. All right, so we would want all of these packages to be up to the latest versions. And but we could start first with the database that's on version 10. Postgres has come a little way since then. So if we went to Docker Hub Postgres, you would see, where's it at? 15. Let's just grab 15 Alpine as the image instead. So we can change this to 15 Alpine, like so. Yep, and the message DB image has been updated as well. Although I need to rebuild this because this one only works on ARMs or Mac M1 chips, because that's what I built it on and didn't know the flag to make it work on others. So if you don't have a Mac, what should we put there? Docker Hub. That's me. And oh, look at that. I've already got a link to it. Tags. That's such a great readme there. So 126. Don't remember what the difference between those two is, but it's irrelevant to our purpose today. So at least run with 126. There was I think what this picks up is MessageDB, like 116 to 126. MessageDB made a change to the order of the columns in the table. So here in this messages file, these didn't, originally they weren't listed in this order in the create table statement, which you would think doesn't make a difference, but it was discovered that for very large installations with large data sets, that the order of the columns affected how much disk space was taken up by, I don't remember if it was in the gigabytes or hundreds of megabytes range, something like that. Anyway, use at least 126 I don't remember. I think 130 moves it up to Postgres 15 or something. Yeah, that's what it is. So 126 to 130, you get a more recent version of Postgres running your MessageDB instance. We'll just stick with 126 for today. And that will work fine. But what won't work fine is when we go to run this. We're going to get an error that at first will be difficult to miss if you're not paying attention to the output here. So database is uninitialized and super user password is not specified. So you must specify Postgres password to a non-empty value for the super user. And you can do that by adding this environment variable. Or you can also use the Postgres host auth method trust, which just allows anyone in. I choose this way of dealing with it because this isn't deployed anywhere. This would be a terrible thing to do in production, but we're not in production. So we're going to put that little bit in place there. Restart both of those. And now you can see it was the View Data database that's having that. So Practical Microservices DB. And here it is ready to accept connections. So with that in place, if you update to, I want to say it was Postgres 14 or higher that introduced that, or at least the 14 Docker image or higher. I don't remember which one it is. And I'm not going to take the time right now to try various ones. But if you put that in place, that'll get you running again. And don't put that on your deployed servers. That would be an awful thing to start your database with there. All right, so that is working. So now we got to deal with all this nonsense here. Surely there is a way to just blanket update all of these packages. Let's find out. Let's see, npm update all packages to latest. Here we go. Neat. Don't use this on a large project. Oh, it's another package to install. I don't want to do another package. I want to just have npm handle it for me. How to update all the node dependencies. Oh, same thing. What does npm update even do? Update all the packages listed to the latest version, respecting the Semver constraints of both. That's not what I want. This is annoying. Maybe I should just download that other package and do this. But I don't know exactly what it does and how it operates, and I don't really want to just download random packages and run them. I'm sure Zach is a fine person, but all right. Well, we know PG needs to be updated, so we'll npm install -- save PG. Oh, yeah, it's an old version of packagelock.json as well. So that failed. This didn't fail earlier. The bcrypt installation failed. Fascinating. Well, let's just update that one to the latest version too. And now we'll run both of those. Maybe that version of bcrypt was so old that it didn't work. Okay, that seems to be the case. UUID is also one that will cause some problems. Oh, no, don't change that. Let's reload it. And let's make sure we get UUID. There it is. Shoot, what was it called? Just UUID. Okay, that's what I thought. There was a package that was node UUID, and that's the one that has been deprecated in favor of this one. Uh-oh. I did that thing where I background tmux. So what does it say here? UUID 3. Oh, right. That's in some other package. Which one is it? I don't know. And did I get the colors one? I don't think I did. We're also, yeah, let's not worry about that one right now. So we can npm start. Something went wrong there. Yeah, okay, this is another thing that you'll hit. The way that you import the UUID package or require it to get access to the v4 generator has changed. So let's see, where is an example of where we have this? In prime request context, for example. So that would be in source app express mount middle prime request context. There it is. Okay, so here's what changed. Instead of UUID/v4, you do UUID and then .v4. And there are other places in the code where that is the case. And if I weren't so stubborn about using Visual Studio Code, we could do this a lot faster. Fine. Fine, we'll do it. I break down. Let's change this. So, do I trust the authors of this code? Sure. Yeah, let's do it. So let's see. We're looking for require UUID/v4. Oh, yeah. Okay. Giving in and not being so stubborn, I think, is making today a lot better for anyone happening to view this. Certainly better for later me, who is going to edit this into a YouTube video. So let's see here. If we then replace all, yeah, 37 of those. That wouldn't have been fun. Now, does it save the files? I swear there was some version of this where if you did a find and replace like that, it would open all the files in an unsafe state. It looks good there, so we should be able to start. Uh-oh. V5. Okay, so we dealt with a V5 in one place. So let's go back here and change this to V5. Oh, that one we only have one of. That's fine. Grab you. And so you would need to go change all of these. And that stinks. Like, that's not fun at all. Now if we start, we're running. Okay, so with that, it's running again. That would be a useful point, but I'm not content with that because we want the latest versions of things. So if we run npm audit, I know there's debate as to how useful this is, but I still don't like seeing 22 high and 12 critical vulnerabilities in the code there. So the following sequence that is happening on the stream right now may end up becoming a musical montage in a YouTube video, but want to get all of these updated to their latest. And I'm not going to download that package that I haven't had a chance to look at yet. Oh, also our engine keeps saying that it is incorrect here. Let's see, where is that? That's down here. So we're going to put this up to 18, like so. And we just did Bluebird. So, and bcrypt is, let's get body parser next. Body parser. That's what it was, right? Yeah, okay. Neat. And then camel case keys, which I don't remember what it was. Camel case keys, like so. And we can load that. Ooh, that one jumped a few colors. This is one that is... Oh, you're not going to enjoy this one. Or you're going to be mad at choices that I made in the past, which is also a possibility. Let's get cookie session here as well. And again, I don't remember what it was called. Cookie session. There we go. So that one becomes just version 2 with no beta. .env. Lovely little package. That one I remember the name of because I've typed it so many times. I hope this is actually doing something. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that went up to 16. So this is having the effect that I would like. So email templates. Honestly, a part of me just wants to go replace all of those version strings with latest. That bit me once back when I ran a screencast series for Node, but that's because I wasn't practicing continuous integration. So whose fault is that really? You know what? I think that's the right thing to do. This is going to seem crazy, but locally I want to be uninstalling and reinstalling these a lot anyway. And my build server can build with a particular version and freeze that. But I don't ever want to fall behind on this stuff because it is just a nightmare to deal with. And if I'm going to depend on something, then I am accepting the responsibility that it's going to change and that I need to stay up to date with it. So let's just run everything on the latest. I don't know if we even need this anymore, to tell you the truth. Don't remember what I used cross env for, honestly. Baker generates fake data. Key grip is something to do with testing cookies, I think. We don't even use NodeMon in here. Standard we use, sort of. Yeah, I'll leave it in for now. And then tape. We'll go like that. This is living on the edge right here. Now we can get rid of the package lock and install all the latest. How on earth are there any vulnerabilities when we're running the latest everything? Oh, right, because some of them might not have been updated in forever. Okay, what are the ones where that happens? Great, but who's using this? Strange. I'm not sure what that changed, but here we go. Okay, neat. No more vulnerabilities, but this isn't going to work now. I think the first thing that we'll see, is that colors has gone full modules. This is going to hurt. Oh, camel case keys did it as well. Okay. Require of ES module from blah 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 is not supported. Yeah, I hate this. I don't know. Again, this could be my ignorance. I don't know what modules bring to Node that is helpful. Let's see. Source app home index. Source app home index. Yeah, this is supposed to be import camel case keys from camel case keys, like so. But no, importy. I like that. I think I'd like it more if it was actually called that. But now it's going to say you can't import from a non-module or something to that effect. Cannot use import statement outside a module. All right, fine. So the way you make something a module is you move it to say MJS. Okay, now this is an MJS file. Now it's going to bark about require being used anywhere and nothing's exported. So let's see here. Oh, right. No. Now we can't even find this. So sorry, let me flash that on the screen a little bit longer. Cannot find module app home because with modules, it doesn't automatically look at index anymore. as the thing that you want. So that's in config where that's happening. And that would be an app home. Where did you go? Home app. There we go. Right at the top here. So we need to be explicit and say index.mjs. But I think that gives us some problems because now we're trying to require a module file. Right, it's a module. Config is not a module. And so that means, great, now config needs to be a module file. Yes, there's a lot of frustration in my voice at this, but, right, I chose to use Node. My way of thinking about this did not win the day, so this is the cost of using it. You have to continuously integrate. I think this will now fail in the index.js because it won't be able to find the module. Yeah. So, what? Yes, it was source index.js. So we can open source index.js and make it a module. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Let's get back there to index.mjs, but can't. Well, now this one's being required by something that isn't the module, so it's going to get module not found again. And so we're in start server now. So then this needs to be a module. And now where are we failing? Right, because it can't. Oh, it's good grief. Oh, man. Okay, so this here in start server needs to be index. Can you do just JS? Or do you have to say MJS? Right, you have to do MJS because that's what the file is called, isn't it? But it's not going to like that it's being required. So you can make a dynamic import, which I did in some other place somewhere, and I don't remember where that was. So require a VS module is not supported. We could instead just import it. So import start from index.mjs, like so. Now what are we getting? Cannot use import from outside a module. Oh, right, because start server. Oh, shoot. Oh, that was weird. I renamed the file but didn't reopen it, I think is what happened there. So yeah, now we have two of these. So let's see. Let's get rid of that one and then we'll copy this one to MJS like so. And then get rid of the old one. All right, so now it's a module. So module not found now because where we're trying to run this. I think that is something we need to fix in package JSON. The start. Oh, start dev server is still there. I'm just going to remove that because we're not using NodeBont anymore. And this should say MJS. Can you even do that from the command line? Yes, I have incorrect syntax there, don't I? No parens. So let's see. This module, right, because I didn't change anything to an export. So instead of module.export, you have export app, export config, and export start. I think. we'll see here. So now all the things need to be a module. It seems like someone has poisoned the well and now everything is affected. That is totally how I view it. Yes. I don't I think in the browser import provided some useful things, and I talked to a friend once about this, and he said it was had to do with like being able to like if you have an entire package and you just want one file from it, it can get you just that one file easier. Tree shaking, is that what that's called? I don't know, but on the Node side, like I don't get what it offers. I have never had problems with require that import solved, but I have had problems with import that I didn't need require to solve. But like if you ever, at least back in the day, being 2018 or so ancient history as far as JavaScript is concerned, if you ever had a circular dependency, I mean, don't have a circular dependency, and the Learn You Some Erlang for Great Good book has a really humorous take on that. But if you had a circular dependency in your imports, it would just hang and not tell you what was wrong. So didn't like that. I think that soured me on it, and I don't get it. I don't understand what's so good about it. So I'm doing this wrong. Is it export like that? I mean, commas will be needed. And does this allow a trailing comma? I really don't remember the syntax here. It's been a while. There we go. Okay, so let's see. But yeah, you're exactly right. That's what it is. Like the package moved over to modules. So to use it, now that has a ripple effect. I think you can do the dynamic require thing, but I don't know. I'm just like, not going to fight it. It is what it is. So up here, then this needs to become an import create express app from that. This will have to become an import. There's probably some sort of an automated code transport or whatever that you can use to do all of this. But where then would my righteous indignation at all of this be? I think with the dynamic import thing, if you have... So the dynamic import, I forget exactly how it works, but I swear I typed this up one time before. But if you have an async function, you can put your require statement inside of that and then call it. But that gets weird to do in this particular code that's like the startup code for everything. So that, and then I forgot to mention this earlier in the stream, but I am talking with PragProg about how do we get code that reflects more how JavaScript is today than how it was when I wrote the book. And so I would like to do all of these changes and have them available for download somewhere. So that's why I'm going to deal with it in this way, to just try to make it as current as possible, basically. So let's see, what did we get here? Unexpected. Oh, right, because it's not import equals. I don't think config was updated to export things. Directory import right. So this would need to be, I think, an index file. Yeah, so let's see. Index.mjs. But it doesn't export anything, or is this config now? Oh, right, because I haven't changed that one over. So yeah, this is, okay, I'm not going to get this done in the next 7 minutes here. I'll keep working on it though and just keep chatting, but I just want to make sure I get the summary of things. So yeah, if you stay up to the latest versions of everything with what's in the project, then the fact that I didn't write this with modules in the first place is going to be a problem. At the time that I wrote the book, I think the MJS extension existed at the time. There was a period of time when I was doing node development full time where import was a thing, but wasn't yet in Node. So I'd use Babel to get access to it. I think that was one of the main reasons I didn't use it. Node didn't natively support it, and I didn't find typing import instead of require a compelling reason to bring something like Babel into the project. Then Node got support for modules, I think with the MJS extension behind a flag. So in one of the odd versions, I think you could run it and it would work like that. But now it's been merged into the like, you don't need a flag to run modules anymore. And so a few libraries here and there have started using the module system. And so depending on how they do that, maybe you end up in this situation where it's like, oh, now I have to change everything to this module syntax. And then I missed all of that because for the past couple of years, I haven't done as much JavaScript as I used to. So, yeah, that's that. And it's frustrating. So I wonder, does Express even work as one? Let's just change that and see what happens here. I think we have a module not found. Source config, right. That was, no, that's not it. I know, exciting, huh? The way that it all works. So this needs to explicitly say MJS. And what did we get here? Cannot find env, right? Because you would have to be MJS. And you are currently just JS. And so now you would be import colors from color safe. You would have to be import .env from import.env from require.env. That sounds like a winning plan there. Oh, so I think I don't think you can do this, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Yeah, boo. Okay, so arg. Can you do this by chance? That would be really nice if you could. No, can you do... like so? Cannot. Oh, that hurts. I don't like that. All right. Actually, I don't think this will be as bad as I think it is. So if we copy you, paste you there, get rid of that, and then come here and say const, and then the thing after there. Delete all of those, and then this is me trying to keep it below a certain number of lines because that works a lot better in print. And then if we came here, all right, let's check out a Vim macro real quick. So, nope, that's not it. Q, let's say we're recording a macro. We're going to step to the end and remove that, replace it with an equal sign, jump to the end of the line, delete that, go back to the beginning and move down one, and then quit recording it. There we go. Now this macro will take care of it for me. That one didn't quite do it, and I had already changed that one. All right, now down here in these exports, we can just delete until the end of the line and then go put it. Shift delete deletes to the end of the line. I didn't know that. That's exciting. Oh, man. What am I missing? A parenthesis. A paren. There we go. And now what can't be found? Cannot find module colors safe. Huh. Last published 4 years ago. That even says require. What? Is this the one that I think it is? I don't know. Anyway, I got to stop because I got to get back to work, but yeah, this might end up being a couple of days worth of work. I don't have time outside of the stream to do stuff like this, and to get readers unblocked, I really need to get this done. Oh. Maybe colors isn't one of the offenders at all. Require colors. Or a slightly less nifty way, which doesn't extend the string prototype. Right. So how would this work with the new way? Guess we could look at the GitHub repository. So it's probably colors. Safe. Boy, I don't know how to get to that file. Yeah, maybe I'll figure it out overnight. Anyway, I'm going to stop there, get back to the day job. It's going to take a couple more sessions to get this full thing completely made. But hey, sorry if you got the book recently and ran into these problems, but working on it. Till next time, happy coding.